Well, here I am once again on an old wharf somewhere. This time I'm at Tuggerah Lakes once again near wonderful Wyong, over a couple of days looking east over towards the entrance and Long Jetty a bit further to the south. Wyong Lakes, or Tuggerah Lakes as we know them today, consist of three interconnected coastal lagoons: Lake Munmora, Budgewoi Lake and Tuggerah Lake, the latter being the southernmost lakes. The town of Wyong to the west of Tuggerah Lakes behind me here, about 5 k's away, was proclaimed in 1888 and became an increasingly industrious and prosperous area, serving the timber getting, the dairy and the holiday industries around Tuggerah Lakes. And as is common with most central coast towns, the coming of the railway northwards opened up the area in 1888. For holidayers and weekenders, ferries and trade boats plied the Wyong River across the lakes to the many guest houses and holiday destinations such over at the entrance, Long Jetty, Tuggerah, which received large crowds, especially in summer, from about 1915 into the 20s increasingly. Wharfs were built, of course, at the same places at the entrance, Long Jetty, Tuggerah, Buff Point and Killarney Vale, commencing about 1915 as well, to service the daily ferries that were coming from the boat launches on the Wyong River at Wyong. Along the Wyong River also were fishing villages of North and South Tacoma, established about 1900 to 1905 as well, servicing prawning and fishing boats from the lakes, and many jetties were built as well. The water's quite clean here along the river and lakes. It's quite a pleasant to be in. The lake's rocky points with shallow weedy bays. Wyong River's a delight to be. I'm searching here today again, of course, for G-Bell Wyong ginger beer or cod bottles, and it's usually a mixed bag here. Previously I got the lovely 26-ounce clear G-Bell Wyong soda and other bits and bobs, but bottles are pretty hard to find here and it's pretty sparse. Vinegar. ReUpload. Come. Imperial Port. Broken. No, she's an old one. Jones. Really good. Broken crown seal. Oh, hallelujah. Oh no, there's a chip there. G, bell, Wyong. Wow, cod. Old neck cod. Look at that. Alhamdulillah. Finally got a beautiful G, bell, Wyong cod. A few little cracks and a chip on it sadly, so I'll try and get another one, but I'm very, very happy with that. Been a big effort today. George Bell Jr. was born on the 6th of November 1845 in Picton, New South Wales, and baptised at Narellan in 1846. His father was George Bell Sr., born 31st of August 1817 in East Farley, Maidstone Borough, Kent, England. His mother was Sarah Bell, formerly Sargent, the daughter of Thomas Sargent and Alice Ellis Packham Rees, born 21st of October 1827. The sister of George Sargent, Thomas Sargent, Henry Packham Sargent, James Sargent, Aaron Harding, and William Harding, who were both half-brothers. At the age of 26, George Sr. married Sarah Sargent Bell at Sutton Forest on the 25th of December 1843, with Sarah bearing him 8 children, all born at Picton. George Jr., born 1845, James, born 1847, Thomas, born 1849, Harriet, born 1852, Henry, born 1854, John, born 1856, Emma, born 1859, and Alice, born 1863. Little is known of George's life from 1845 to 1866, but we do know that he was born and raised in Picton with strong family ties. At the age of 21, George Bell Jr. married Elizabeth Ellen Dunk in 1866 at Narellan. On the 17th of March 1865, George Jr.'s mother, Sarah Bell, passed away at Picton, aged 38, and was buried at Picton General Cemetery. In 1881, Elizabeth's mother, Eliza, that's George's mother-in-law, passed away in Sydney. On the 29th of July 1894, George's father, George Bell Sr., passed away at Picton and was buried at Picton General Cemetery. George's wife's brother, that's George's brother-in-law, was Benjamin Thomas Dunk, born 2nd of January 1859 at Concord. In 1909, George and brother Henry, along with Benjamin Dunk, established George Bell Cordial Factory on the corner of Allison Road and Pacific Highway, Wyong. The factory was the old and spacious Breckenridge store and produce shed, which was built from tallow wood in 1886 and had been abandoned for some years. This gave good transport access to the northern and southern main distribution roads. At the rear of the factory was a 35,000-gallon natural clear water spring that the factory utilised for quality cordials, and this was later sized to 50,000 gallons and owned by Mr. B.T. Dunk. Although trading under the name G. Bell, it was managed by Benjamin Dunk, George Bell's brother-in-law. Dunk was given permission to build a shed on the site in 1917, and in 1919 Benjamin Dunk was given council permission to extend the additions to the rear of the factory. In 1931 he received permission for a meter to be connected to the cordial factory. The Bell's name was adopted as the logo, and quantities of bottles were purchased, including a clean-skinned ceramic ginger beers, marbles and other bottles. They were bought from a Newcastle bottle yard at the cost of 3 cents per dozen. Very quickly, ginger beer, lemonade became the most popular sellers, although creaming soda, cola, claret cup, orange, sarsaparilla, hop beer and Bell's ale were also produced. George's wife Elizabeth died on the 17th of June 1913 at Picton and is buried at the Picton General Cemetery. It is at this stage, I believe, that George stepped away from the business at age 70 and Benjamin Dunk continued the operation of the business. It appears Benjamin Dunk was an industrious and intelligent manager and built the factory and brand up to be very famous across the Central Coast. Utilising the newly strengthened main roads from the 1920s, from Wyong up to Waihi, Morisset, Newport, Currumbung, Ourimbah, Toukley over to Swansea, Catherine Hill Bay up to Newcastle, as well as south to Gosford, Woy Woy, Brooklyn and Brisbane waters. We see numerous newspaper advertisements in the 1920s and 30s, and Bell's Cordial Factory sponsored trotting events at Wyong local races frequently. The railway and horse and cart were the first used for transport in the early days, and in 1923 a Ford truck was purchased and used for the job of deliveries. George Bell Jr. passed away on the age 74 on the 9th of October 1919 and was buried next to his late wife Elizabeth on the 11th of October 1919. Ben Dunk's son, J.S., was born in 1912, and as a boy of 8 years, he remembers quite well washing the Bell's cordial bottles in the factory and generally gaining experience to help his father. After the death of his father in 1942, he carried on the business until 1947, when he sold the business to H.C. Margin of Woy Woy. The bottle types used in some 37 years of production were as follows. The blob-top stone ginger beer was used until about 1920, with production peaking at about 14 dozen per hour. The Crown Seal ginger beer was used onwards from 1920 right up until the business closed in 1947. Marble or cod patent bottles were used until about 1925, with conventional Crown Seal bottles taking over after that.